Now then, about 5 months ago, I was coming up here on my very first wild camp, and safe to say I was struggling a lot more than I am now. I would say something, but I can't talk. Maybe that's due to my new gear or just fitness, I've no idea, but it's definitely a lot easier. So this video, I've come back to the spot where I had my first wild camp, and I'm going to see if I can make it a little bit further and do a bit of a comparison from then and now with what gear I had then and what gear I've got now, and hopefully I can make it to the summit this time. Okay, I'm a bit out of breath. That were a lot easier than last time. Last time I think I said I was heading up there. That's not Ingleborough, but I am going to try and get to the summit this time, see how far I get. Carrying a lot less weight, also a lot less moustache, so I should get there no problem. So I originally wanted to camp at Great Gable in the Lake District, but everything were a little bit last minute. My sat-nav was saying I was going to arrive at 5 o'clock and the sun's due to go down at 6. I know this area like back of my hand now, so give me like 3 hours to find a pitch instead of an hour. So here we are. Definitely a lot easier going with my current load out. I think there's a bit of footage of me on this stretch last time, so let's have a look at that. Oh well, only another 4 mile. The Solomon 3D GTX still going strong. I've done some serious miles in these boots now and still looking good. I think I've had them about 2 years, and yeah, they're just brilliant boots. I've had a couple of blisters, but only when wearing crappy socks. Keep my feet 100% dry, apart from the time that me and my mate scrambled up a waterfall, and that was only because the water was just going straight over the tops of them. But yeah, brilliant boots. When these finally cack it, I would be tempted to get another pair, to be honest, although my eye will probably be drawn by some shiny Lowers or something like that, because you know I love spending money. Oh, it's nice of them to leave me that. Just hop in there and bomb it up to the top. So last time I camped just over there, facing Ingleborough, which is that. So as you can see, I've got a fair few miles to go, so I better stop yabbering on and get up there before it gets dark. Well earned break, I think. Still got a fair way to go. I've got about 2 hours left. What were I just saying about blisters? I've got a right one coming. It's really hurting. Oh well. At least my bag's not like... there was something bouncing around in my bag, like clanging every footstep. Like a bloody one-man band. Oh shit. I hope no one thinks I'm in trouble. Blister! Come on, Rob. Do it for the viewers. Come on. I honestly didn't think I was going to make it then. Tatters. I've got cramp in both my legs and my arse. Just look at it, man. Oh, I'm so chuffed. I nearly give up, honestly. And if I hadn't been making a video and I'd have already said that I was going to summit camp, I'd have probably would have given up and just camped halfway up. But I had a little chocolate waffle and it got me here. I've got the whole of the summit to myself as well, so let's go find the perfect pitch, hopefully a nice flat one as well. Oh man, look at it. This is definitely the clearest I've seen it up here. You can literally see for miles. I've been up here about 4 or 5 times now, and this is definitely the clearest I've ever seen it. Look, there's loads of decent pitching spots as well. What a spot. Look at it, man. All set up in there, usual stuff. Now for the important thing. Time for a beer. I've got 2 faiths and 2 rapscallions, and that's orange zest IPA, and that is hazy pale. I think we'll go for that one. That is something else. It's quite emotional actually. I think that's the sea at Morecambe, as far as I know. Beautiful. Well, I've done it again. I've beat my previous wild camp. I think this is definitely my favourite so far. It's unreal. Ingleborough summit. Acto. Does it get any better than this? it does get better than this. So I can see while I'm drinking my beer. It's not a soul up here. Got it all to myself. And I've literally had this shit-eating grin on my face since the moment I got up here. It is just unreal. I've never seen out like it, to be honest. It's beautiful. Like this camera's not doing it justice at all. It's just beautiful. There's not enough 360s in the world to get this, to give this justice. Well, I suppose I better get some tea on. I'm not even bothered for eating. Although when you've had a beer, like, you don't really fancy it sometimes, do you? But I've definitely earned that beer. I'm so glad I pushed myself to actually get here, because like I said earlier, I nearly give up and I was just gonna camp like just below this, but I'm so glad I pushed through it. Like, my feet were killing. I had blisters on both feet and like all my arse and both legs were like cramping, but I pushed through it for viewers. This is ace, man. It's like my own little playground, and every time I look the light changes and it just looks insane. The camera really doesn't do it justice at all. Look how clear the sky is as well. A few dramas at the beginning with the seam sealing, but I absolutely love this tent now. I don't regret spending all that money on it at all. It's brilliant. Even that footprint, it was literally, I was pitched on top of a massive puddle and it was just like a waterbed, and no water even came through it. So it's brilliant. I'm glad I paid extra for the footprint. At the time I did think, Jesus, that's a lot of money. £50 just for a ground sheet, but I'm definitely glad I got it. Don't worry, I can't yabber on for much longer because it'll be too dark so I can just sit and enjoy. Let's have a look at damage on feet. That's commitment, that. Oh, that's a killer, that. Wonder what other one's like. Anything for views. Nice little view front tent. It's so quiet, I can't believe I'm right up here on top of a mountain and there's just not a breath of wind. I like to keep a nice tidy tent. Not too bad. So a little bit of advice or encouragement for anyone that's just starting out wild camping or thinking about biting the bullet and doing the first wild camp. My advice to you is just go for it. You will absolutely love it. If you've been camping on a campsite, this is just another level, honestly. And on my first wild camp, I've got to admit, all the way there I was panicking like, where do I park the car? What if someone sees me getting my bag out of my car? If I get caught and someone knocks on the tent in the middle at night and tells me to leave? And I was always on edge, like every tiny little sound, like my hat had like touched the roof and I'd be like, what was that? And then my stomach would go and I'd be like, there's a fucking warthog out there or something. And just every little tiny little noise, I was really on edge, like, as you can see. Podcast. Can you tell I'm listening? I swear I heard something there. This is my 7th wild camp now, so I'm still like a beginner, but that anxiety and that sort of fear, it goes like, I think by my 3rd wild camp I was totally fine with it, like I wasn't nervous or anything, and I just enjoyed it. And if you are worried about being scared while you're there, my suggestion is the more remote the better, which might seem counterintuitive because it's like, yeah, but you're so on your own. But that's better because I always feel like up here it's quite an open area, but it's miles and miles away from anywhere, and they'd have to slog it up that massive hill to get here. So there's not going to be anyone up here. And possibly avoid woodlands, because in woodland there's going to be a lot of animals and stuff. I'm yet to do a woodland camp because I think the noises from animals and stuff would freak me out. You can get maybe the occasional sheep in where I am now, but it's not very likely, so there's not going to be many noises. And if there is, just put your headphones in. Listen to an audiobook or a podcast, and just don't try to listen for every noise, just ignore it. So yeah, that's my little bit of advice to you. So do it. If you're thinking about it, just do it. You don't have to spend a lot of money on gear. There's a lot of decent stuff for cheap. Like, what's the point in spending like 110 quid on a Rab down jacket when you can get a Decathlon one for 60 quid? And everyone raves about them. They say they're brilliant. what's the point spending 60 quid on a Thermarest Z-Lite when you can get one for 15 quid on Decathlon? There's not much difference. The only thing is I'm willing to sort of splurge on things like that, because this is like the only hobby I've ever had where I've never got bored of it and I just really enjoy it. So to me it's just a bit exciting to have like branded stuff which you don't need. But I don't regret for a second buying this Hilleberg Acto. It's absolutely brilliant. I love it, and I trust it now, like in any weather. Like I said earlier, I've even had it where I've woke up in a puddle of water and the water's not made it through the ground sheet. So stuff like when I first started out, I had quite an expensive sleeping bag, Thermarest Saros 32, I think. I'll put up what I've actually got now. And that really is a 3-season bag, but you can in England get pretty cold weather if you're in remote places or on top of mountains and stuff. So I was lucky enough to have this Rab Ascent 1100 bought for me for my birthday, and it has made a massive difference. It feels like, I like to feel like a bit of weight on top of me when I'm in bed, and pardon me, and this actually feels like you've got a duvet on top here. It's brilliant. And the Rab Ascent 1100 is a big bulky bag, and when I first saw it in like the bag that you hang it in the wardrobe in, I thought, Jesus Christ, how's that going to go in my bag, especially in my 48 litre. But I bought a Sea to Summit compression dry bag, which squashes it down to nothing, and it's waterproof, so it's perfect. And the Rab Ascent 1100 fits in the medium version. So if you do have that bag, it's definitely worth considering, because look how much room it saves in your pack. There's a lot of stuff about condensation in the Acto, and I've never had it bad. Not in the bedroom part. It does get quite bad condensation on the outer if you don't open the end vents, which today I've opened both end vents and I've opened the door a little bit. But I mean, I even smoke this in here, which is a vape in it, so it's vapor, and like, look at the state of it. And I've still had no issues with condensation inside here. But just in case I do, I put my coat on the bottom of my sleeping bag, and I've got a little, you know, those like little thin sponge things what you can just wipe it down with. But this is by far the best location I've ever camped at. It's amazing, honestly. And it's even a really, really flat pitch, like flatter than I've had on some campsites. It's perfectly flat. So I should have a decent night's sleep as well. And there's not a breath of wind. If you listen, there would be a motorbike in distance, wouldn't there? But there's not a breath of wind. It's just, honestly, it's perfect. So I'm gonna have my beers, and I never made my tea in end, but I've got one of them Madison sausages, so I'll probably have that and a little chocolate waffle. So I'll stop waffling and I'll see you in the morning. The wind's picked up a little bit and it's pretty cold now. Anyway, see you in the morning. morning. The wind's definitely picked up. And according to that, it's 1 degree. So it's 5 o'clock. 2 hours till the sun comes up. Time to patch up my feet and then we're off. Right, leave no trace as always. Let's go. Right, you lot, thanks for sticking around. If you've made it this far, I appreciate it. If you've enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing because it does help the channel. I hope you've enjoyed the video. See you next time. Somebody